sophisticated medical research being done. I can ask them about politics. It doesn't matter. All of that is visible to them because all of the minds, your mind, my mind, all our listeners, at the subconscious level is non-separate. So they know what is known and thought throughout the universe. And that is where I got my information from. My book is not my book. My book is the information I got from the transcenders.
Right. Now, jumping over to your book then, at some point, through this communication channel, through the transcenders that are the interdimensional beings,
yes,
they start introducing you to a regional galactic governance council known as the Council of Eight, which includes a number of star systems. And you've got them listed here in the book. And, in fact, there's a tremendous amount of information for those of us who follow this, and for people who are just being introduced into this area. I mean, they talk about the Council of Eight consisting of the Pleiades, Orion. I'm looking at page 27 of your book, Sirius, the Bootes. That was a real revelation, understanding the relationship between the Bootes and the Greys. Alpha Centauri, Comsule, Zeta Reticuli, and Pusati. How did that feel to you when you first found out about the Council of Eight?
Well, this came gradually. I started talking. The information I wanted, first of all, was more about the universe and about the agents, and so I started questioning about that 11, 12 years ago. So I've been talking to them regularly about the agents ever since, and so there was no specific moment when I was like in a state of surprise. Nothing surprised me about what they said, because besides, the transcenders as a group of 43,000 very ancient souls cannot lie. That's impossible. They cannot lie. So you ask them for advice, they'll give you advice. Mind you, they don't tell you what to do. They won't give you cures for cancer or anything like that, because they don't want to violate the two basic principles of God's creation, which is free will and choice. But so the information came over a period of time. The information in that book is really the information I got, I'd say, over the last 10, 11 years.
Right. Now, before we go any further, Stan, my curiosity was really piqued because we're talking about upper dimensional advanced races here, and I've got 4 books in my library here by my dear friend Ms. Pereira, who claims that she is a telepath, and she's filled these 4 books with the Arcturians, who are here, and they claim that they're here with some of their spacecraft are as large as a planet, and they work on the light grids of the planet. And I'm just wondering, have you heard anything how the Arcturians fit in with the Council of Eight?
No, I didn't, Alfred. But I did ask the transcenders. I says, are there other groups of souls like the transcenders who communicate with us here on Earth? And they said yes. The White Brotherhood is one. They are, and the Arcturians, and there's apparently there's many others. So there's probably a great deal of truth in what she writes.
Okay, good. So, i.e., I guess what I'm trying to say is that those of us who are in this field have also been researching and have read about other star systems like Arcturus that claim that they're sending resources here to help out humanity. And it's not that this doesn't negate that. This just focuses on certain aspects of it. Is that Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they focus on certain specific things, but the Alien Council consists of the most powerful star systems in the universe.
I see.
The Alpha Centaurians, for example, is the greatest military complex in the universe. They can literally blow a planet to dust, and they've done it. So, and they monitor us 24 hours a day. They've been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. And the Pleiadians, of course, are a very powerful planetary system as well. And they function, the group that you mentioned, they function under the Alien Council. But that doesn't mean to say that there aren't others who are also communicating with certain individuals on Earth and providing advice and helping out one thing and another. But I want to assure you one thing, Alfred, is that because it's quite a common belief is that, there's some very evil aliens out there and they're going to take over. In fact, they're living in caves on Earth now, and then where there's all kinds of sacred, bloodletting and sexual orgies and all this kind of stuff taking place. And the transgenders say no, there's none of that, because the Alien Council, especially the Alpha Centaurians, would never allow it. So that doesn't mean to say, but at the same time, is that there are other groups who do communicate with individuals on Earth. And I can think of another one in particular, and I have a great admiration for him and all the information he provided, is Billy Meyer in Switzerland. For example, he was in touch with a Pleiadian called Semjazi, and everything there, the transgenders would confirm was pretty accurate. Now, and some of the predictions that Semjazi made, see, this is where some things go wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, you see, the aliens have souls like we. Now, when God created all the souls, according to the transgenders, he gave each soul only two things: free will and choice. Then he created the universes, and he says, go and experience all things. So he's not going to sit in judgment of us if we did anything wrong, because from God's perspective, there's no wrong. It's just all experience. So the thing is that this is what it's all about, and there are other groups of people, entities or agents, what it is, who do try to provide information, advice to us almost like on a person-to-person basis. Mm-hmm. Well, the transgender are doing the same. They're not talking to the world. They talk to me, and there's several others. But incidentally, Alfred, I've been asked about this quite often. Are you the only one on Earth with whom to contact? And I said, no. There are several others. But the thing is, the one in Russia or the one in China or wherever, maybe in Europe, they ask, and they're more concerned about questions relating to Europe or to Russia and this sort of thing. But I was more interested in the extraterrestrial. So that's the reason why I came out with my book.
Right. Now, just before we get to the really important issues at hand of the Earth's environment, I just want to go to one more cosmological issue that I found very, very pressing and interesting. According to the information presented by the Transcenders, the Council of Eight first came together about 1 million years ago when there was an attempted takeover of our planet by, quote, the reptilian faction, I guess, within the galaxy or this universe, which is about 300 billion strong, it says, and that the reptilians' motivation is to make farms of human planets. And that then 2,000 years ago, with around the incarnation of Jesus of Nazareth, that was the last time that there was sort of some kind of armed conflict where the Council of Eight resumed, there was again an attempted reptilian incursion. I wondered if you could go in depth on that issue, because I know that people are really concerned about the reptilian issue at some level and are very confused about it.
Yeah. Well, what it indicates, what you just said, is that the universe rather, is mysterious beyond our wildest imaginations. We just have no concept. And I talked to transcenders about it, and I asked them about today, and they told me, in fact, one of my books I'm publishing next year is called Strange Aliens. It is a very, very strange universe, because when God created the universes, and he gave us free will and choice, and things would develop in the billions and billions of different ways. There's not another Alfred Weber or Stan Fulham in the universe, and there are zillions upon zillions of souls. And so there are, and there's nobody, God doesn't let them sit in moral judgment of any of his creation. We do, mind you, but God doesn't. So we have all of these different creatures developing according to a large extent, according to the planetary energies that exist on which they exist. So they develop in a different way. Now, the reptilian empire, known as Reptilian Empire, developed the way they did. Now, their main food is other beings, but mind you, Alfred, so it's not entirely strange when you find is that some of the more advanced civilized societies, planetary societies, when they come to Earth and they study us, the unseen, mind you, they're in the fourth dimension, they study us for a while, and they think we're not much better than animals. They see us killing animals, eating animals. They see killing ourselves. They see all these diseases, and they think we're not much better than animals. You see, the thing is that it's all comparative, and so there's some pretty bad characters out there. There's another one called the Force of Evil, and they try to invade our galaxy. Oh, that's a long time ago. And again, in fact, that's the time when the Council was formed in order to protect our galaxy against this vast, powerful force of evil. I'm getting more information about that, and I'll include it in my book, Dealing with Strange Aliens. But, yes, there are a lot of strange things out there, Alfred, a lot of strange things, beyond our belief, beyond our understanding. And if we weren't protected, we would have disappeared a long time ago.
Well, does that mean that the Council of Eight, I'm just trying to read, have placed us in a kind of a quarantine or kind of cordoned us off so that we're protected because we're not able to fend for ourselves? Is that?
Yes. Now, that raised a question, Alfred. I'm glad you brought that up because I've been asked about this on a number of occasions. I had written in my book, as you know, because you read the book, that the transcenders told me there are countless thousands of planetary societies just like ours who have polluted their environment to complete extinction. Not a single being, not an animal, not a plant survived. And the Pleiadians and others, in the Indian Council, find it rather sad when they, in their space travel, and they see sometimes this planet out there. All it is just a black planet, nothing on it, no life, no trees, no beings, just circling around their sun, and at one time was a flourishing planetary society. And this has happened in countless thousands of years, which raised my question. And getting back, to the sightings we had over New York,
right,
and what they're planning to do in the future in this
right.
It's all because they decided about a year ago that our environmental crisis is getting to be so bad they will have to intervene. They have no choice, otherwise we will not exist. And they're planning to do so by 2015, but they don't want to do so just suddenly because their intervention will create massive fear and panic and hysteria. So there's a purpose in what they are trying to achieve, and that's how they're going to do it. Now, getting back to this is that so they decided they were going to do so about a year ago, and that is a major, major decision.
Yeah,
in fact, the transcenders said.
Yeah, Stan, could I just jump in here?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to break your train of thought, but I just want to bring this up so our listeners understand. I'm reading here from page 207 of your book. It